Oh boy. Oh God, that's. Oh, I'm sorry. I always get caught. I always get caught in the middle of like smelling a really delicious beer. Mm, mm. Um, before I start tonight's show, as you may have seen, right before I came on, tonight's show is dedicated to the loving memory of Heather Lynn Fallon Thayer, my wife, my beloved wife, who passed away 6 years ago today. And I did it. I got accepted to grad school today, of all days, too. Gonna go on to clinical licensed mental health counseling. So that's the next step. I just graduated from college just under a month ago now, and here I am, of all days, on her anniversary. She died technically, I guess. Woke up one morning, she was just like exasperated, couldn't breathe. Passed, I believe, or lost consciousness. Her heart stopped for a number of minutes. Got to the hospital and her heart was going, so kept her alive on machines. She was going right then and there. But we kept her alive on machines until her mom could come up from South Carolina. Everybody gathered around, and when she got taken off life support, it was immediate. Like she was already ready, So it's been a long 6 years. It's been a road. It's been a journey. Big thanks to everybody who supported me along all these years. Speaking of supporting people, let me take another sip of this. It's delicious. Mm. Sorry, I don't mean to get all beery on you. It's this is Road, spelled like Rhode Island, where I'm from. Road Trip, made by the lovely people at Newport Craft Brewers. Check them out. They make some good stuff. It's delicious beer. It's not too hoppy. It's not too stiff. It's not too. It's just right. I think it's a. It's a 6.3. It's not. I wouldn't crush like 20 of these, but I could crush like 6 of them and be okay with myself. This is not the beer show. The beer show comes on this Thursday. We premiere. Not premiere. We come back as Three Dudes Brews. The last call. I always think like the last stand, like Billy the Kid, like Pat Garrett outside. That's around. Yeah, no, it's not that. It's me. I didn't cause us talking about everything and nothing in beer. This week is nothing different. So that's that, but that's Thursday. This is the ghost thing. This is the sports thing. Not a lot on the sports radar this week. My beloved Dolphins are still talking trade about Jalen Ramsey. He's gonna go bye-bye. He's a buku contract anyway. So like you were all right, dude. You had a decent season last year. Like you couldn't stop all the touchdowns that were scored against us, but you made some good plays. The year before you were kind of injured half the season, dude. I only played for like a real season. But I mean, yeah, you want to go play somewhere else and mooch them? Go ahead, Jalen. It's been real, dude. It's been fun. Maybe we'll get like a whole bunch of cap space. I don't know. Tyreek Hill still manages to stay aboard the ship, and hopefully, I don't know. They're saying this kid that they drafted as the last pick in the draft is like the next, like John Elway, the next. I don't want to say TB because I don't. The next Dan Marino, if you will. So just like really good things to look forward to. I'm sure my dreams and my hopes will be crushed come like October 1st. But yeah, that's the football season. Baseball season is rolling along nicely. My beloved Red Sox are just about keeping their head above 500. And ironically enough, are only like 4.5 games back of the Yankees, which are atop of first place. That, as bad as it seems like I think we're really not doing that bad. We had the New York Mets come to town, I think like last week. They're one of the better teams in baseball right now. And we beat them 2 games out of 3. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, they're doing things. And then they'll turn around and play the Orioles, who don't have more than 20 wins, and like almost get swept. So that's my beloved Red Sox. I wish I had more to say. Devers, Alex Cora, dude, what are you doing? I don't know. I don't know if there's starting to be some doubt here in Boston. I don't know what's going on. Cora's he's a genius, but then again, Alex, this whole Devers thing is like ugly. My Boston Celtics are long gone. I'm going to go Indiana Pacers. Just beat the Knicks. I don't care who wins it. Just beat the Knicks. Just knock the Knicks out. The Lakers are done. The Celtics are done. Let someone else win it. Hockey's been over for me for over a month because I'm like a bandwagon Boston Bruins fan. I take clients to the Pete Bruins games, which are awesome. Check them out. They're cheap. They're reasonable. You can get like glass seats for $25, folks. And the like semi-pro games are way more fights, way more action, and way cheaper seats, and probably about the same price beers as the Boston Bruins games. But we must have gone to like at least a dozen this year, and it's always a good time. So check that stuff out. I don't have all that much to talk about as far as I'm concerned. We finished I finished my charity work for the year. We hosted the gallery reading with Christina Marie last Saturday at the Varner Memorial Armory. It was a success. It wasn't a massive success, but it was a success. We raised some good money. I always love being in this building. She was able to connect with the spirit that I believe is in that room. Just another just like as an investigator, like that little bit of validation that you get from time to time. Like, I've been saying this for years, and here it is again. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't know. It's a ghost thing, I guess you could say. It's a ghost thing. Speaking of ghost things, I'm gonna get rolling right along into ghost things. Tonight's guests are guests. Well, it's a guest right now. The other guests will be along shortly. They're I'm sorry, never mind. Our guests are coming to us from the don't get me wrong, Connecticut's a lovely state, but I hate driving through the state of Connecticut, whatever time of day it is when I'm driving down south. It just seems like the longest day. But anyway, they come to us from the great state of Connecticut. Two paranormal extreme two extreme paranormal two extreme brothers paranormal. Is that yeah, maybe. And they're also podcasters. Please welcome to the show. Mike Cronin.
Hey, Mike, what's going on? Not bad. How are you?
What is Two
Brothers Extreme Paranormal. You're close.
I always jumble words and names. I don't know if I'm going to say Adam's last name. I just might say Adam when he comes on.
Bulgajewski.
Bulgajewski. That's a mouthful. Good for him.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me, how long have you been doing? This is your first and only group. Have you been doing this for a while? What's your story?
I've been doing this. This year will be 21 years total in the paranormal scene. I've worked with teams since I was 16 years old, up and down the East Coast. Mostly some of them out of Connecticut and like that. And then 4 years ago, me and Adam met. My ex-wife and his wife were best friends, and they introduced us to each other, and we started watching paranormal shows one day, and I'm like, okay, so you know what?
Let's stem from paranormal shows.
Pretty much for him, yes. For me, I've like I said, I've been doing it for 21 years. So I told him I had the equipment. What do you want to do? Let's get together. And next thing you know, here we are 4 years later, going stronger than ever.
That's awesome, dude. So
yeah.
You said 20. I said it a long time ago myself. Not necessarily. Well, I don't know. Maybe like watching the original TV shows and being like,
yeah,
they can do this. Why can I do this too? And then sure enough, I followed up and ended up doing this also. But as an investigator, what can you take away from the TV shows, and what can't you take away from the TV shows? Would you say?
Well, first off, like when we're on our investigations, or if we host a public investigation, we tell the people the truth about the paranormal investigations. These shows on TV are on location for 3 to 4 days to fill that 1 hour slot. We're here in a building for 12 hours trying to get stuff for that 1 hour slot. You want to say we do film our investigations, but there's no editing. It's raw footage. I don't do any computer. I'm horrible with computers.
Yeah, me too.
I literally film everything with our camcorders and we upload. We don't change anything. I add in words and music basically to our investigations, so you can see what it's really like on an investigation. You have the on-off nights. Everyone thinks, oh my God, it's a haunted location.
No,
it doesn't matter.
Even if it's a super haunted location, dude. I've been in the same place twice in the same week, and one night it was dead. No pun
We've been
intended.
to
And
the
the next
Hinsdale
night it was like
house.
crazy. So yeah,
Yeah,
no, go ahead.
we've been to the Hinsdale house 3 times,
Oh,
and the
nice.
first time was
He's
crazy.
on my bucket list for
The
sure.
second time was quiet, and the third
Yeah.
time was mediocre.
Yeah.
Same with
And
the
now,
Conjuring house. We went there
same.
twice.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
My Rhode Island connection here.
yeah.
Yeah. I never wanted to investigate there. I've lifelong Rhode Islander. Yeah, it's something about like movies, maybe hyping it up. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I
the
know,
thing
I know
was,
it's haunted.
that's
I've
what
met.
that's what it was for me, to be honest with you. You know, it was a bucket list location because everyone
Yeah.
saw the Conjuring house, the Conjuring movie, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, we have to get in there, and we went twice.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you go in? Did you go in Corey and the Heathens owned it, or did you
Yeah,
go after that?
we went with both.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we went with yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Everybody knows what we don't need to say it.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Everybody knows. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want. I've you're like, oh, you know, you haven't. I'm like, I drove by it like thousands of times going fishing
Yeah.
up in Burrville, but I'm just not so
Nah.
much drawn to it. Lizzie Borden House, which is a little bit more local, also that's been a hit or miss I've heard over the years, but I've
Yeah.
been there.
Never been
as
there.
a kid, and it just like it creeped me out a little bit. There was some moments I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
what was that? You know, but I was a kid at that time. So Connecticut, where would you one place in Connecticut where you could recommend to anybody go and experience?
Well, one place that we used to go to, we had access to, was Norwich State Hospital.
Ooh.
Over by the casinos. Our the guy that used to film for us that passed away, it was a good friend of ours. His grandmother was one of the head nurses at the hospital.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we had one access. We got to go there from him, and it was great. Another place that I highly recommend is like a practice facility for us would be the Primitive Crow in Bosworth, Connecticut, which Ghost Hunters, well, they were the other show there at the time. I forgot what it's called, Ghost Nation. Yep. They went there and filmed, and they caught some amazing footage there.
Yeah.
And Beth rents the place out. I highly recommend. Contact them.
Nice. That's pretty cool. So did you so the shows didn't really pull you? What pulled you in? Were you
you
were young?
The thing is, like, I watched Ghost Adventures. I was a big Ghost Adventures fan for the first 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that it went downhill.
Yeah.
I watched Ghost Hunters, but I wasn't really a fan of Ghost Hunters at first because he was into the whole debunking scenario and stuff like that. I was more.
All right, wait. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
So you didn't like it because it did debunk, because they did.
Well, at the time I want to see stuff. I want to see paranormal.
Oh yeah,
stuff. You know, I was like that at that age where I'm like,
of course you do.
Stuff. And you know how he was, though. Well, maybe that was not. You know, like that's pretty much how I learned though about the whole paranormal was from Jason Hawes. Because you watch Ghost Adventures and it's all stuff happening, and then you watch Ghost Hunters and it's like the real debunking this and triggering things out. You know,
like maybe this could be like the pipes under the stairs rattling, or
the house
instead of old man Herbert going up the stairs. It could be something logical. No, I did like that. Personally, but no, go ahead, go on.
So yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I watched, you know, for ghost type stuff, and then I got it into myself, and I really didn't watch any more shows. I kind of started watching like YouTubers, but I have my opinions about them.
Yeah,
I think it is that we're so involved now that I'm like, all right, well, we're doing it ourselves, so I don't really watch much anymore for paranormal shows.
You really don't need to. It's oh, Jesus, excuse me. God, that beer came back at me. But as an investigator, I watch shows from time to time, and it's like, this is like not realistic. This is not what we don't like just cover all this evidence in a matter of like 20 minutes in between commercials. This is like months. We don't like, not you sit in. I've been in like some severely haunted locations, and not every minute of that investigation is like popping. Like if you have like 1, 2 really good things happen, or maybe 3 or 4, that's cool. And then afterwards you review and there's a ton of stuff, but not like I sat in like complete like darkness in silence for hours, or talking to people doing sessions It's like, fuck, nothing's going on.
That's another thing too. I tell
Nothing's
people,
happening. Let's get the hell
we're
outta
there
here,
for 12 hours on location. We have to rewatch 12 hours of footage all over again.
Oh,
And when it's just
oh,
us, it takes months.
months. We bought years ago. We years ago, before like GoPro and all these like mobile cameras were out or really good. We had a closed circuit, and we had like 8 cameras, and we spread them out over this house. Just me and Joe. Joe's my film guy for my beer. So now he's still he's my tech guy, because I can barely just about turn on the computer. And yeah, he built this computer that I'm using right here. So I mean, he's my tech guy, and having to review like eight different cameras for 36 hours a piece. The client's like, after like 2 months, she's like, "Are you done? Do you have it?" I'm like kind of in the middle of this, and like I'm still juggling work and like staying up and watching like video recording is of nothing for 36 hours. Holy shit! Let me tell you, especially when nothing happens, or like an attic where it's just fucking, it's just insulate, and you're looking at nothing for 36 hours, and you're gonna do it 7 more times.
Yep. Yep. It's like when
Lord.
our schedule gets going, there's times where almost every weekend we're out going somewhere, and it's like that adds up. Everything that we have to go over afterwards, it takes a while.
Yeah.
It gets kind of annoying.
Yes. It gets annoying when we investigate. I have usually a general crowd of people, not a crowd, but people in the group that will come generally. Every now and again, I'll bring somebody new in or whatnot. I tell them like for hours before and during, don't whisper. If you move, if you fart, tag it, please. Buddy shits his pants. Please say something, because I might. Dude, did you hear a growl? Oh my god, I think that's a growl. And then you don't say anything. It's like, what is that? What else could that be? Yeah. And the whole time I had Mexican that night, and I refused to say anything. Yeah, it's just. That's
the best thing to do.
It's so some of this, looking at some of the stuff that's so like, it's not every investigation do you capture anything either. You know, it's sometimes you look at like a shit ton of stuff over a course of months. Then get together with people like, hey, what did you capture? Hey, what did you capture? Dude, I didn't get anything. Oh god, I didn't get anything either. Oh god.
And then when it's a crazy night, we have to go back and mark all those spots all over again.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's a lose scenario.
I used to investigate with this guy Kevin. He was awesome. He had every tool, every gadget known to man, everything that you could ever imagine ever using. Even the stuff that you just see on the shows and you could never afford. He had it. He had like 4 of them, and he must have like 40 recorders one night. We did an old mill, and the time it just took him to do this whole. Oh my, dude, like that's amazing that you put that much coverage into it. But who the hell is going to listen?
I mean, me and Adam have tons of equipment. Tons of equipment. I'm always buying the new stuff, and to be honest with you, we barely even use it. Right, there's times where we'll bring everything, and then we'll end up using like 3 or 4 objects out of the equipment, and then that's it for the night.
Yeah. So what's
we have the XLS, we have the XLS, we have the SLS. We don't use them much. I mean, we get so involved that we end up using our Maglite and our digital recorder more than anything.
Oh, the digital recorder is my bread and butter. I always have, always will be. I say that to everybody. They're like, "Oh, you like the K2? Do you like the Boo Beer?" No, I'm like, screw all that shit. That regular recorder. I bought it at Walmart. It's a Sony recorder. I spent $40 on it like 18 years ago. I've caught more EVPs on this thing than I could tell you. And it's nothing special, but it works. It's proven, effective many times, and it's not costly at all. To like maintain the batteries every 6 months, I replace the AAAs. It's like $10, dude. It's
dude, mine's $20 from Amazon, so I know.
Even better, dude. Or like I had a girl that used to use the wrist one. It's almost like a watch. Yeah. Those are actually I think she paid $35 for that, and it was pretty spot on. I guess we got some really good EVPs off of that. But that's always been my bread and butter is the the
Yep.
recorder for sure, and
Yep.
my own self. You know what, my own
Yep.
whatever I'm feeling or whatever I'm, whatever insights I pick up on and whatever, whatever,
Yep.
So, scary.
Yeah.
Why is it? First of all, why is it scary? If we're just talking to people, why is it scary? And how scary has it ever been for you? Go ahead.
Well, we have a couple places that actually kind of made us go, "What the hell was that?" kind of moments. We went to Sweet Springs Sanitarium down in West Virginia, and we went with a team of ours. Next of Kin Paranormal came down with us.
Nice.
And there is a moment where the caretaker took us through the building the first 20 minutes to give us a tour, like they always do. And we rented this place out for the weekend for us. So it was literally just the four of us on the property. And he gave us a tour, went through the hallways and everything, took off. We went into the safe room, as they call it, to get everything ready. And within 5 minutes of being inside the safe room, we heard these loud banging, crashing noises.
Yep.
And we go, "What the hell is that?" So we look out the safe room door and look down the hallway. All the doors are wide open. Now, when we went through the tour, the guy left and closed all the doors. So we follow the hallway all the way down because we're still trying to figure out what this crashing noise is. So we get to the room. There's a banquet room followed by a room with a stage, like a ballroom type thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And right in the doorway, there's a table flipped upside down and chairs blocking the doorway.
Oh.
And we go, "Wait a minute," and we have it on video. We just walked through here during the tour. We didn't walk over anything. What the hell is this?
Right.
So I sent Adam down with our friend Joe, or Dom. He went down with Dom, and they went to the caretaker and was basically saying, "Hey, I think somebody broke in. We're not 100% sure, but we can't explain this." So the caretaker came back up, toured the whole building, went through, checked all of it. There's only one way in, one way out. Nothing was broken. He goes, "I don't know what to tell you." He goes, "I'm the biggest skeptic, but I can't explain this." I said, I said, "We just walked through here, and this thing, it's already blocked. The chairs are upside down. The table's upside down. It's blocked. We can't go through there." So we cleared everything out, closed all the doors. We started the investigation. Within 10 minutes of the investigation, we're in one of the hallways, like the T hallways.
Mm-hmm.
And Dom and me are back to back filming, both of us, and it got to the point where we were against each other because we kept hearing shuffling and movement coming towards us. We were like, "What is going on?" And this is the first 20 minutes of being there. And it just continued all night long. And I was getting something. All of a sudden, something ran up behind me, and I thought it was one of the guys. I turned around. There's nobody there. And I'm like, okay, this has me a little like, what's going on?
So fear.
Like,
you were afraid.
Fear-wise, yeah, I literally, that got me. When something ran up behind you and you turn around, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
My hair went up, and I'm like, okay. That had me shook up a little bit. That night.
Do you think it's let me ask you, do you think it's the unknown, or do you think it's their energy reflecting upon us and setting us off?
I think it's the unknown.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a mixture of both, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it was the unknown on that one.
So same guy that's my tech guy, Joe. He's been with me since, he's been with me almost 15 years now. Great guy. Just had his first kid, beautiful kid. He's a little younger than I am, so whatever. That's okay. Whatever. We were driving out to this location that I was taking. I was actually talking about the other night with the other day with the president of the Barnum Armory here in Rhode Island. He took us there with his neighbor. It's this huge piece of property on the border of Warwick, Rhode Island, and East Greenwich, Rhode Island. And there's this old colonial house on this property. There's also a large mansion, and then there's this old horse stable in the back. And the property has got to be like 25, 30 acres. It's massive. There's an old creepy cemetery right in the front. So we pull in, the four of us, and as we pull in, Joe turns to me. He's like, "I got a really awful feeling." Now, Joe's not a feeling kind of guy. I'm the feeling kind of guy. There's other people in my group that are the feeling kind of people. Joe is like square. He's very grounded. Never thinks anything is like. Although he's had experiences, he doesn't at all feel like he's special in any sort of way, or believe that he's ever. Even though he's heard disembodied voices, he's been touched, all that stuff. He tries to run away from it, if you will. So he's He's like, dude, I get the feeling when we walk in this place that we're all gonna die. Like it's a horror movie. Like really? Like that's serious, dude? Like, whoa, that's a little pushing. He's like, that's just the way I felt. And then when we went in, holy shit, the activity that was there. Like we were in an old colonial kitchen, and the door swung open, right?
Wow.
And it was on a hinge. It was locked. And then listening to it, you hear the footsteps. And the door opens. There's another in the same room. I'm standing there. Everybody else is sitting down. There's a metal chair in the middle of the floor that I had been sitting in. I was standing up. I'm a big guy. I got back. Wish I could stretch my legs and shit. I'm standing there. We're talking. We're looking at candles. We were using candles. They blow out the candles, like the most basic form of communication. And suddenly the chair pushes like 3 feet, and then the stoppers on the bottom of the chair pop off. I was like, "What the fuck?" And everyone's like, "Did you walk into the chair?" I'm like, "No." It's like it just moved. The chair just moved, dude. And then listening to it again, same thing. Disembodied voices, like little children speaking, and you're the only person on the property. It was weird. I wouldn't say I felt like I was gonna die, but that's where I was kind of going with this. Do you think that they like their energy makes us think this kind of makes us scared of them, makes us feel like we're in a horror movie, or is it the fear of the unknown?
I think so. I mean, there's been times where I've had dreams about locations before we even went there, and it was like deja vu all over again. Like
now, do you feel like that's them talking to you? Do you feel like that's like more of
the
universe?
The
universe coming into your mind. I've Sunday morning was the 25th. The 25th was my wife's initial. Like I said, it was like 2 days, but it was the initial anniversary. I got up. I was driving to work.
About that, by the way.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
It's definitely been a journey, but I was driving to work, and one of my best friends is like, he's not only like an atheist, but he's a wicked skeptic. He loves that I'm into this. He loves that I'm passionate about it. We have very lengthy discussions. He's just not a believer, and his wife is a believer, and his wife called me at like 5 or 7 in the morning the other day, and she's like, "Buddy, like, oh hey, like long time no see. Like, why are you calling me at this time?" She's like, "Did I wake you up?" And I'm like, "No, I'm driving to work." She's like, I just woke up. I had a dream of Heather, and we were at one of those parties at your house. And she came down and she sat next to me. She said she just wanted to know that she's proud of everything you've done, and she loves us and misses us all, and she's here with us all the time. All we got to do is talk to her. And she's like, I woke up. I decided I had to call you. Like,
wow.
I think that's like the universe, or even my dead wife speaking. Through through dreams. It's just
some way or somehow they always want to communicate with us and let us know that they're around.
A lot of sleep. I've heard a lot of sleeping stories like that, like dreams and stuff. I think that's pretty awesome. So,
I had something happen to me a couple of months ago when we went to White Hill Mansion in New Jersey, where a good friend of mine passed away last year on my birthday. He was hit and killed on a bicycle in Texas.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. That sucks, man.
Yeah, no, it's all good. And ironic, he was actually doing an event for bicyclists that get hit by vehicles.
Oh, Jesus.
And he was hit and killed. And we were at White Hill Mansion a couple months ago. And we were down in the basement in the speakeasy. And Stephen Commence was with us from Digging Deeper Paranormal. And it was me and Adam. And all of a sudden, I heard in my ear, "Watch this." And I looked at Adam and I said, "Did you just say something to me? What's going on?" And I blacked out. And all of a sudden, I watched his death. I wasn't there, never saw it, did anything. I was standing over his body while they were trying to revive him on the ground. And I saw him get hit by the truck from behind. I saw everything.
Jesus.
And then all of a sudden, I woke up and they were bringing me outside. And I was just dry heaving outside. As soon as we stepped outside the door, we went over to the trailer and I just started downpouring. And they said while I blacked out and was watching this, that I was trying to break our equipment and like yelling and screaming. I don't remember any of that. The last thing I remember is saying, "Watch," or hearing, "Watch this," watching his death, and then being brought outside. And it's just, that hit deep, that hit home. But I'm like, was that Bob trying to communicate with me? His name was Bob.
Yeah.
Or was that something messing with me, knowing that that's personal? That's what's going on in my head.
So You
I
heard
don't.
the spirit's voice.
I literally heard "Watch this" whisper into my ear,
Yep.
and then I saw the whole death. I saw him get hit by the truck behind, and I was standing over his body as they were trying to revive him.
Oh, so you were
And
like
I
almost
saw
like
literally like if I was there,
in your
I saw
mind
the
was
whole thing.
projected to that moment.
Like it was like watching a movie.
Yeah.
But they
No,
said in
still,
that process of why I was doing that, I was trying to break our equipment and I was yelling and like pissed off. And I don't remember any of that.
wow.
Yeah. Yep.
No,
And it was all caught on Steven's live. He was on Facebook Live when that all happened. And I had my live going through Facebook too. And you could see the camera go down on my phone, and then everything happened after that.
oh my god, dude, that's like next level. That's
Yeah. That was brutal. That messed
it's
with
like
me so
like
bad.
channeling, almost, or
Oh
like
yeah, Adam's in.
oh hey, Adam. Oh yeah, he's
How you doing?
hey, how you doing, Adam? I noticed like the size differential. I thought was
I'm the
I'm
mountain
a
of the
massive
hill.
I'm a massive dude, so everybody's small to me. I'm sorry. I love I love the comparative. I'm sorry, I don't mean to make a joke over your.
Oh, no,
It's all good. Don't worry about
Have
it.
to come on the show. Sorry.
Like I said, I'm the mountain. He's the hill. It's all good.
Hey, look, is it sad that my son's not even 2 and he's already half the size of me?
Oh boy, dude. Well, no, there's nothing sad about it. Good things come in little packages. My mother is 4'8" and I'm 6'5". So just yeah. Weirder things have happened, I guess. So Adam, tell us, how did you get involved in the paranormal? How did you get hooked into this lovely shit?
So I mean, I grew up in all right, we'll start with this way, the typical, how'd you get into it? I lived in a haunted house when I was a kid.
Awesome.
Same here.
I had a farmhouse that was built in like 1800s, like early 1900s. It was it started out as like pretty much like a one-room shack, and then it turned into a massive farmhouse. And that's where I grew up in.
In Connecticut?
Yeah, right in Suffield, Connecticut.
Suffield, Connecticut. I'm not sure. Is that east or west of Hartford?
East. It's Suffield's probably about 15 minutes from Springfield.
Oh, okay. All right, you guys are up there. All right. I'm like 30 minutes from the Connecticut border, more like Thompson, Putnam, that region.
Yeah, so it's literally where Six Flags is.
Oh yeah.
Suffield borders Six Flags, Mass.
Right,
so it's literally, I think it took us like 15 minutes to get to Six Flags.
Wow.
Well, to the Mass border.
Yep. Yeah, right.
But it was haunted to the point where my grandfather actually had to spray paint my window so I couldn't see the tree that was outside.
Why? What was up with?
Because this tree was not dead, but it grew no leaves. It looked dead. It stayed dead. And I would have a dream that this dark creature would crawl up the tree and it would jump through the window and attack me. And that's when I would wake up. And we couldn't figure it out what it was. My grandfather was 100% Italian man. He didn't believe in that. Yep. He was the guy that if you didn't wake up, he would wake you up with a chainsaw or something just to scare you. So he thought I was having night terrors that's what they call it now, night terrors, but bad dreams.
Yeah, bad dreams.
But it was to the point where I wouldn't even sleep in the room anymore. So
did it change when you stopped sleeping in the room?
Yeah, I'd go sleep in the room with my grandfather, and he had a little bed in the corner, and I would sleep in there, and I wouldn't have none of those dreams. But if I slept up in that room, it would happen.
Yeah, I bet. So gentlemen, I was like yourselves. I didn't grow up in a haunted house, but I had experiences. My father would instead of going to Disney World or Six Flags, we would go to places like Mount Vernon or Monticello or Gettysburg Battlefield.
Okay.
Big history dork. So I grew up a big history dork. And I always have like weird feelings that I would, or like weird experiences that I always just could, brushed off, passed along. As I got older, it got more intense. Brushed it off. I tried to experiment a little bit. We go, what was that? Legend tripping. So we go to places like, me and friends would go to like Mercy Brown Grave, or like the lad school here in Rhode Island. Trying to have an experience, nothing significant to speak of. I was working in a group home right before I turned 30, and like the shit hit the fan all at once. Everything that could, footsteps, voices, touched, full bodied apparitions, everything. And from that point, went from like being absolutely terrified to like, holy shit, this is so cool. I got to do this more. Did you guys ever have that moment where you tried to ignore, or have you just dove in?
Pretty much when growing up. I mean, I moved into my grandfather's house with my father after they passed away. My grandfather and my aunt passed away, and when one night I was up in my room, which was my aunt's old bedroom, I saw this glowing ball of orb fly into the bedroom out of the corner of my eye, and next thing you know, my TV went out, and all of a sudden I felt like I was being held down. I couldn't move. Mm-hmm. And it lasted probably about not even 10 seconds. And then got up, and I was like, what the hell was that? What was that all about? And it scared the shit out of me to the point where I was literally sleeping on the couch downstairs. Mm-hmm. And then as the months went on, or the days went on, we'd have the garage door would open and close, the lights would flicker, you'd hear footsteps going. I'm like, you know what? This is pretty cool. Yep. I want to get more into it. And that's pretty much how I started with the paranormal. And then watching the TV shows, it added in.
Yeah. I mean, literally, it's just like, I mean, everything interested me. Like, like I tried to figure out why that shit was happening to me.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, well, if I ignore it, it'll go away. Mm-hmm. And like, I stayed down in the living room or in my grandfather's room. And I was like, oh, it's not happening no more. Go back upstairs. Boom, it happened. I'm like, what is this? And, I was young. And as I got older, you hear about these places that are haunted. So you're like, oh, let me go check it out. And I dated a girl that was like into, I guess you could say, the other realm of life. Like there was more there than just us. So we would go visit haunted places. And then I kind of just, like put it on the back burner, but would, follow the paranormal.
Yeah.
Well, what was broadcasted then,
right,
which was not much,
Right. We talked about that earlier. It wasn't like it was like a teaser of like what it could be, maybe. But not really. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, Mike probably told you, my wife and his ex-wife were good friends. Mm-hmm. COVID hit, and we were sitting there, and I was like, dude, this is bullshit. Like we need to find something to do because we can't go do anything,
mm-hmm.
And we were watching the paranormal shows, and I looked at him and I was like, hey, think we could do this shit?
Matter of fact.
I was like, you know what? I was like, matter of fact, look up a haunted place we can go to right now that's open to the public that no one cares.
We drove to freaking Vermont.
Yeah. And it wasn't
in February.
Yeah.
Which was a place up on a mountain.
Yeah. And by the way,
a tower.
Here it was like 50 degrees.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we were in t-shirt,
sweatshirt and jeans.
Shoes.
Don't mess with Northern New England boys.
We got up to Vermont, and it says your location is here, and we're looking. And first off, we're looking at a mountain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what do you mean here? And we're looking, and it's at the top of the mountain.
Yep.
By the way, it was an ice storm. We're pulling into the parking lot that you could park in.
Yep.
Across the street, and now, mind you, I was only going like 3 miles an hour pulling to this parking lot. I had my wife's Wrangler because we're going up north. Let's drive the lifted Jeep just in case.
Safety, right.
Yeah.
Safety first, guys.
And well, we hit the parking lot, and I was like, Mike goes, slow down. I'm like, I'm on the brakes. He goes, slow down. I'm like, I'm on the brakes. And we're literally sliding across the parking lot. And I'm like, well, good thing this thing has a steel front bumper because the wood guardrail.
But you know what the crazy thing is? Out of all this, like we even had to hike up the mountain in just regular shoes. We caught some amazing freaking evidence while we were there.
Oh yeah,
and that's what really kicked it off. And this was outdoors in a mountain.
Yeah,
and I mean, we caught EVPs right with the tower. This tower was, I forgot the name of the tower. I never remember what the name of the tower is, but it was built by inmates.
No,
wow.
And inmates, the patients.
Well, patients. It was a mix.
Yeah.
And it figured it gave them something to do. Like got them out to build stuff. So they built this
tower on top of a mountain.
On a tower on a mountain, but the problem is they started jumping off the tower.
Oh God, yeah, probably.
Suicide.
Yeah, mental health. Yeah.
We heard all about this tower, like after I read about it, and there was one point where we're on the mountain and we heard a little boy crying, running through the woods, and a father yelling at it, and then nothing was there.
I ran after it.
There's literally nothing on this. We couldn't find it. We couldn't find anyone.
And then someone's actually walking up and like, "What were you running at?" I was like, Did a little boy and a yelling father, like, you see them running after his kid and like screaming?" And they're like,
it was like, we just came up the trail. We didn't see anything.
We didn't see anything. We heard something.
Yeah.
That's why we came up this trail.
And then the EVPs were ridiculous as we were standing outside the tower. It was awesome. Cool. Yeah. So that's what kicked us off.
So that's the history. Somebody guys they built the tower and the patients that built it started killing themselves by that. Was the hospital like close?
The hospital was in town down below the mountain.
It was right below the mountain.
Wow. It was right below the mountain down in town.
And then they cut it off to the patients.
Yeah.
And allowed the public to go up there. And then people I think it was Retreat Tower, wasn't it?
Retreat Tower, yes. That's what it was called.
Wow. So and they literally, the public people were committing suicide.
Yep, it was in Brattleboro.
Yep.
Brattleboro. Yeah, that rings a bell because we have an Attleboro here up just over the Mass border. So, no relation, of course.
This was the actual picture of the tower.
No.
It's a stone tower.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, bad.
That's what they built. Awesome. Yeah, and it had the spiral stairs inside.
Stone and steel.
Yep.
Oh God,
that was pretty cool.
It is. It's a beautiful location. Just I suggest if you people are going to
go in spring or summer.
Yeah. Go like later in the summer. I camp in a place, guys, way up in right on the border with New Hampshire and Maine. It's about like 20 miles south of Canada. I have friends that go up like in a couple weeks. I won't go up that early because down here, while I'm in shorts right now and a t-shirt, up there I got to bring my thermal sleeping blanket. It gets down to like 35 degrees. Granted, the fishing's phenomenal as it is in September. But I mean, I don't need to freeze my ass off. It's rainy up there most of the.
Well, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we
were in New Hampshire 2 weekends ago.
Whereabouts in New Hampshire?
We were doing an event up there. It was Hampton, New Hampshire, the James House.
Yeah.
And it was cold. It was warm here.
Oh yeah, dude.
Got up there, but it was cold and rainy up there.
It's like a month and a half different season-wise from there to here. But it's a whole different ballgame if you go up north. So wait till July, guys, where it's nice and seasonal.
Look,
the cows are out.
You leave the southern haunted locations for the fall and winter.
Yep.
And then up north for the spring and summer.
Yep.
Right. That'd be seasonably adequate because oh my God, the snow. I was my in-laws used to live just past Old Man of the Mountain. I don't know if you guys knew that was in New Hampshire. Yeah. That was like, for me, I'm in Rhode Island. That's like 3.5 hours north. So that's like after you go through the Franconian Notch. It looked like an old man, and then he fell down in like the early 2000s. Way the hell up. But up there like Jay Hawes and Grant owned a hotel. Like the next town over was my in-laws. So we're talking way up there. And I was up there for Thanksgiving one year. It was clear. There was not a cloud in the sky. Me and my wife just had to go out and take a little ride. We went up to see where Hawes and Grant Wilson have the It was like the Three Kings restaurant. It was like some.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
It was some like overlook. It was a cool building. And it was a cool. They had cool side buildings. It was open. They had it open for like maybe 6 or 7 years, and then they sold it. But we went to check that out. It was like 35 minutes up the road. We left there. It started snowing. By the time we got back to Twin Mountain, it had snowed 14 inches in less than an hour. It comes on like bam, like that up there.
Oh
so
yeah.
you don't mess with the weather in the North Country at all.
Look what happened to us when we went to West Virginia in November. It snowed.
Yeah.
Oh,
We were in a snowstorm when we were at what's it called? What's it called?
Crescent.
Yeah. Wow. I just talked about it. Oh my God.
Sorry,
Sweet Springs.
Yeah, Sweet Springs.
Yeah, it was
what's
literally
Sweet
snowing
Springs?
on
What's
us.
that?
The sanatorium.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's the one I was telling you about with the hallways and the tables and chairs that flipped upside down.
Yeah, guys. I've been in mental health and human services now for about 24 years, and I worked in 2 sanatoriums, if you will. The first sanatorium was the old tuberculosis hospital, which is now Eleanor Slater physically disabled hospital, like right up in the corner of Rhode Island, right up in Burrville, up near by the Conjuring House, if you will. Right in the very corner of the state on Walm Lake. It's a gorgeous lake. It's gorgeous grounds. You send the tuberculosis people up there. Now it's like severely physically wards of the state, right? Guys who don't get out of their hospital beds. So right off the campus in the old doctor's house, I used to work in a DOS program, which was diagnostic assessment and something else for like wayward teenagers. And we'd take them down to the gym to play ball. I shit you not. Every time I open that door, like, oh God, like you can feel every like hair in your body stand up, like, oh God, everybody's watching me. That was creepy. Then I worked at the Bridgewater State Hospital in Massachusetts, the only forensic facility in the state of Mass, and it had some holy shit people there, but it had some holy shit energy. Just a level of energy these places still hold on to after years and years of. It's pretty amazing. One of our people in the chat room asks, have either you investigated the Rolling Hills Asylum in New York?
Yes, we have.
Yes.
Nice.
We have some crazy stories about that place.
Yeah.
Tell me a story about Rolling Hills, because I've never been. I got a friend out there in Syracuse. And it's worthwhile, I think.
I'll start with my little one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, they said, lay on the table, and like.
This is in the basement at the it was the
doctor. The doctor's outfit is still hanging, and it would turn, towards the patient when they would lay on the table.
Yep.
And like I laid on the table, I'm like, Mike, look, it ain't moving. I think it was just as soon as I said that, man, that outfit just went.
Dude, it follows you every movement you take. And it's on a hanger, hanging on a pole, and it's perfectly still. Nothing wrong.
As soon as
the morgue, yes.
Yes.
I was in the morgue, yes. The morgue. And the lady that owns it tells us when you move, if it doesn't like you or if it's interested in you, it will follow you. And I said, yeah, okay.
Oh, boy. And here we go.
So we're down in the morgue, and Adam gets on the table,
and it's not moving.
I'm like, all right. I'm like looking around just to see if there's draft areas or like if there's a vent somewhere that could possibly move it or some shit like that. I'm not finding anything. And then all of a sudden, like he said that, like
I was like, oh, this shit ain't gonna move. Like,
dude, kid you not, that thing slowly turned and looked at him.
Slowly.
Like it turned and shifted towards him. And I'm
it was like a quick it literally went like this. It started moving and I was like, yeah, all right. And it went like
God.
Not like fast, but like
noticeable though, right?
Oh yeah.
And then as soon as I got involved, it followed me from corner to the corner of the room. Yeah. No matter where I was, I kept looking just to see. It turned every movement wherever I went.
I got tapped on the shoulder.
He was tapped on the shoulder.
I turned around because I thought Mike was behind me, and like I got tapped on the shoulder, and I turned around and I'm like, "Oh fuck!"
Right.
I was like, Mike, and I walk around the corner. And I'm like, Mike. He goes, what? I was like, did you just tap me on the shoulder? He goes, no. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So,
because it wasn't like that, like barely touched light tap. It was like
You felt it for sure. Yeah.
Oh, felt it. It was like a quick, like,
Yeah.
If it had sound, you would hear the tap. That's how, like, I was like.
Now, when we went there, we went with an event company, and we had our good friends Kaylee and her husband with us.
Yep.
And we literally were down in the morgue still during this whole thing. And Kaylee and me heard something out in the hallway down in the morgue. So me and Kaylee walked out quick while everyone was in the morgue. And we looked up. There's steps going up to the first floor, and then there's a ramp that goes up to the second floor from there.
Yep.
So there's a doorway going onto the first floor up the steps, and all of a sudden this big glow opened, like a portal. Not even joking you. And Kaylee has this on camera. A nurse, something opened, and a nurse in the old nursing gown walked through the portal and went up the stairs right in front of us.
Get the fuck out of here! You all saw it?
Yes,
I was in the morgue.
Yes, and me and Kaylee,
that's when I heard the tap. That's when I felt the tap.
Kaylee literally had her phone recording and taking photos of the thing. She froze. Yeah. I turned and looked at her. She's still stuck in that position of what she just watched. And I go, "You're seeing this, right?" Yeah. And all of a sudden, the guy that was working on the first floor of the group goes, "Did you guys just open and close the door?" I said, "No, somebody just walked through a hole, though." He goes, "What are you talking about?"
And he saw the light.
He saw the light come through underneath the door, but thought the door opened and closed. I said, "No, something opened," and a nurse with the full old outfit, like I can still picture her with the white dress with everything.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
She had a clipboard. She had a clipboard in her hand. And she literally just walked straight across, went up the steps to the second floor.
Right through the door.
Do you think
and I'm like,
do you think she was in the moment, like intelligent? Or do you think she was like a residual?
Residual. I want to say residual.
Yeah.
I want to say this was the morgue area, so they're coming and going constantly. They're checking patients on the floors up above. Mm-hmm. And yeah, she has it all on her phone. She took the photos and she's got the videos of it all happening while that happened. And it's
amazing to be able to get it on. It's one thing to experience it, guys, but it's amazing to get it on video.
Yeah, that was definitely another holy shit moment.
And then at the end of that hallway, what did they call the guy?
The Slender Man? Or no?
Was it Slender Man?
Oh no, there's a guy, Roy. Roy's bedroom.
Roy's bedroom. All at the end. Mm. And I'm literally staring at that door because they say you can see him walk.
And he was supposed to be like 7 feet tall. He was a tall guy.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yep, all right, this ain't going to happen because it's me. And literally all you could see is. And then after that, they decided to put people in rooms. And
so. Pick of Roy.
Huh?
Katie has a pic of Roy.
Katie has a pic of Roy. Katie, bring it forth.
Yeah.
Show me this Roy. Oh my God, that's incredible.
Share it in the comments. So then we were in. I was in. What room was it? It was the like hairdressing room and
oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So then I'm sitting there and it's pitch dark. So I close my eyes and try to just listen to the room. That's one of our favorite things to do is just sit there.
Use our senses.
Yes.
You know, we like to let the building talk to us.
But the problem is I I pictured clear as day in my mind with my eyes closed like it was playing on a projector screen. Right in my eyelids of the room. It was bright daylight. It was people in there, and I felt whoever was sitting in that chair during that moment. I felt their feelings. Like it was like that. It was sad, but it was like, all right, like this is it. This is where I am. This is where I'll die. Like feeling like
right,
like that oh fuck, this is it moment.
Right.
Like
I can validate that myself. I've I was just talking about that the other day with somebody. Like, what's the most scariest? Blah blah blah. You like the most scariest ghost I've ever seen is the one that like pronounced her anger and pronounced her emotions like onto me, and like made me feel the way she and like as creepy. Like this woman has the blackest eyes, the most blackest eyes ever. She was so pissed and she was so angry. I was in a pool. I was doing backflips off the diving board. I was happy. I was in my zone. I was like a good bear in North Carolina, and she just appeared, and she was so pissed. And then I saw her picture like 2 hours later, and I'm like, "Holy shit, that's the woman!" And she's like, "So she murdered her husband and then took her own life, and she had bouts with mental illness her whole life, and swore she was going to kill herself, and then she finally did." And that's exactly what I was seeing. But that how they can like not only show themselves to us and talk to us, like because like we were talking earlier, like EVPs, like I got some good evidence, but they can project that feelings on us and make us feel creeped out or make us feel more heightened. How do you think, guys? How do you think all this happens? What's the key to all this?
So, I mean, I think there's like a different realm that's connected to us through different energies, frequencies, radio waves, and that they still come around through all that to help us learn. But also, I was talking about this not that long ago to Mike and other people that actually when we were up in New Hampshire, that old lady that I deliver tractors for a living, and we were talking about stuff, and I happened to be wearing my two brothers' shirt because that was the only thing that was clean. So I went to work, and we got in a conversation, and she was into the other dimensions of life and life after death. And the one thing she told me is how do you know that we're not dead and we're just testing to see where we're going to go when we become alive? So I'm like, what do you mean by that? She goes, well, when you die, right here, what if you don't die, you are born? And I'm like, well, I mean, I guess you're right. Like, what if this is the testing grounds for true life?
It's crazy to think.
But she was into it, and she goes, I even communicate with my husband that's deceased.
Sure do.
The whole reason I'm buying a tractor is because he died 2-3 years ago, and I it's cheaper for me to buy a tractor than it is to pay someone to mow my lawn. And she goes, but I use all the ghost hunting equipment I bought on the starter kit on Amazon, and I communicate with my husband. I was like, so how do you know it's your husband? She goes, because I ask questions that only he would know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's dude. I'll tell you, as a grieving husband, I've received so many messages that weren't just like, hey, I think your wife loves you, or yeah, that's great, but like, tell me something real. Hey, when you moved into where you're living now, you painted your room a purple color, or like a purplish gray, to celebrate her, but only I know this. So how the fuck do you know this? How the fuck are you telling me this, lady? Or like, when she died, her last words to you was, I love you, and then she lost consciousness. Or like, how many people were in the room when she died? How the fuck do you know this kind of stuff, guy? How can you be telling me this right now? It's mind blowing. Especially, and as a grieving husband, in 6 years, it's been my saving grace to know that there is absolutely something on the other side. There's something there. So that it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It is.
Yeah. So guys, I have your channel. I have that on a separate screen. I'm gonna bring it on. I'm gonna play a few of your things. I noticed a few that were I picked from the shorts. No pun.
There's some cool EVPs on the shorts.
Yeah. So I'm gonna bring on the shorts and we'll take a look at this. We can all see this. Okay, let me open up on my end. All right, so Guys, check this out. It's Two Brothers Extreme Paranormal. This is their YouTube in the short section. I'm going to play this one first, hey, guys. It kind of called to me. I listened to it a few times. It's nice and really clear. Hopefully, we'll be able to hear it in this the way I'm playing it. Here we go. And you can tell me about it in a minute. All right, here we go. Beep, 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 beep. Wow.
Yep. That was the sick room.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome, guys.
Yeah, that was up in the sick room of the White Hill Mansion.
Yeah.
With I've heard of it. Like, oh Jesus, I've heard of it several. No, it's still like you can still hear it, can't you? Yeah, hold on a second. I think. No. Oh, that's why I'm doing it. Hold on. Bear with me a second, gentlemen. This is me versus Buddy versus the internet. All right, I paused it. Okay, guys. Tell me a little bit about the White Hill Mansion. What's I've heard of it. Was that New Jersey?
That White Hill Mansion's down in Fieldsboro, New Jersey.
Okay.
It's one of our all-time favorites. We've been there almost 10 times. That's the place that I was telling you about the sick room, or down in the speakeasy where I had the video play in my head of my friend or a good friend of mine dying. Wow. It's a very active place. Yeah. We're kind of on a little break from going there because
dude, after that incident you told me about, I would take a break.
It gets even worse. I mean,
it's worse for me.
It's worse for him too. I mean, it calls out for him every time we're there.
Yeah, there's groups that are going there that never even known me, and messaging people that do know us, and going, "Hey, this group was there, and they said, 'Where's Adam? We want him back here. He needs to come here.'"
Wow.
Or he needs to go in the basement.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I told
and you're Mike, taking a break at him? Oh, I'm sorry, go on.
Well, because the last time I went there, like the first time it came at me, I told Mike, next time we go back, I'm getting answers. So we went back with the group Get Haunted. And
we know them.
Yep.
And I tried getting answers, and it wouldn't give me answers. It tried going after people that were next to me, getting them away from me, trying to get everybody out. When everybody was leaving the basement, the app we use, which we validated using 2 different phones, same app, got same responses. So we kind of trust it.
I'm still kind of like,
we're still kind of,
absolutely, yeah. No,
my phone said you stay when we were leaving the basement, and I'm like, no.
That's pretty good.
And the last time we went back, I was in the basement. I said, "Look, I don't know what you want with me. You can't have me. You can't take over me. You can't possess me. You can't attach to any of my equipment. You can't harm me or anybody that comes with me." I was like, "But plain and simple, you need to give me a fucking answer what you want with me."
Wow.
And then it went downhill from there.
And then it went downhill. And I told Mike, I was like, "Look, I love this place. This is my all-time favorite place, one of them. But I was like, I can't come back here for a while."
See, the guy that we went with, we always go with, his name is Stephen Commence from Digging Deeper Paranormal, and he believes that we've been there so much they know our emotions now. They know everything about us because we've been there so many times. That
guys, I say it all the time. It's people. It's just people. Yep. You can tell when your friend. Well, you can tell when your little friend is upset, Mike, and your little friend can tell when you're upset. How is it any different if we're dead or not? So of course I think it's, and we're just, so whether it's malevolent or benevolent, we're just talking about like either a spirit or maybe a spirit that maybe has a connection to Adam, or is it like an asshole spirit, or is it beyond?
We kind of, from what we've kind of figured out, we think it was either he looks like someone that was there. And we've gotten things on voice recorders where it sounded like a gun going off and someone being shot and killed down there.
Screams.
Like screams and stuff. So we don't know if it was known for slaves. and it was
Really?
also known for mafia.
Oh yeah.
And they did the underground,
tunnels out to the river during the prohibition
for illegal alcohol
Oh
and all
yeah.
that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
We had a lot of that here in Rhode Island too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's well-known mafia people that have been to this place back in the day. And so there's a whole mix of things that we think are going on. But the one thing that I really think is the reason why with Adam is the first time we went there, he played the bartender. Because we tried to get the spirits going because it's a bar down there. It's a speakeasy.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So he went behind the bar and we put on...
I put on old mafia music.
Old mafia music.
And you serving
and
drinks,
he started serving drinks. And we literally had things going off at the chairs. Like we had the REM pods going off at one area. Like if he was pouring a drink.
We had REM pods.
The cat ball. We had everything.
We had a REM pad, a cat ball, K2 meter.
I do like the cat
pod and other stuff. And we're like, when you need a drink, light it up. Because the music's too high for me to tell. So I started playing the music. And literally, like, the REM pod would go off. Then the cat ball.
Yep. And ever since then, they've been looking for him.
But every time I go back, and even though we're down there, and like the first time we went back when it came at me, okay, nothing was happening. Everybody's like, Adam, go play bartender, because every time you play bartender, this place is fucking hopping with the equipment going off. And I'm like, all right. That's
incredible, guys. I there's a place that I investigate here in Rhode Island. It's a banquet hall. I've been there about 4 times. It has a very long history. But right in the middle of the long history, they had a big fire in 1915. And there's alleged mafioso connection there over the years. There's alleged that the mob had like a bootlegging business in this back bar. That's very much a back bar. And every time it comes up, like whatever we're doing, whether it's like EVP, I like pendulum a lot. People use the pendulum. I watch that hand like religiously like this. The hand's not moving. That damn pendulum is like spinning. It's awesome. It's all like this fear, this mafia, not only this mafia presence, but this fear to say anything by like the non-mafia spirits. Do you feel like they carry that same power across the threshold of death that they do in life?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. They have that inner Goomba. It's still, even though they can't make you swim with the fishes anymore, you think they can still be intimidating?
Absolutely. They can make other people make you swim with the fishies.
That's true.
The cement shoes.
Yeah.
Our very active Katie Rose asks, have you been to the Lizzie Borden house? I'm going next month for the first time. I've been to the Lizzie Borden house.
Fortunately, we have not yet.
I didn't get to investigate there. It's creepy. It's really
outside.
Creepy.
Yeah, we were in the area doing an investigation, and we actually stopped there. We got a chance to stop there quick, and unfortunately, they were done with the tours for the day and all that stuff because we were like, maybe we get a day tour. But what was cool is when we were there, the basement doors were open out back. They were getting rid of all the old original furniture from the basement.
Oh, wow.
So they had everything out in the driveway. And we were able to look down in the basement quick. And it was pretty cool just to see that.
That's where she allegedly hid the axe was found in one of those toilets, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's when I got yelled at.
But yeah, then we got yelled at because the guy thought we were going to take the furniture. I'm like, no, we're just looking down the steps.
Oh no, I was going to
look at the haunted house, guy.
I was going to take you're throwing it away.
I mean, they had all the original like dressers, everything was outside in the parking lot. They were just going to get rid of. And it was all in great condition. But
I was going to take
terrible.
Yeah.
And I got yelled at.
Yeah. I don't know if I would take something from a haunted house, guys. Would you take all right? So I have.
If it was given to me, absolutely.
It wasn't given to me. I was privileged with given access to investigate some of the last standing buildings at the lad school about 10 years ago before they tore them all down. And as we were walking through the main building of this hospital, Fogarty Hospital, which is long gone. I picked up a piece of tile from the ground. I started breaking off little pieces because I wanted like a little piece like that. As I was doing that, there's a woman's voice clear as day. Who's doing this and why? I don't know if it was related, but I took that with me. And then every day after that, I get into my car. I'm like, oh God, I can't have this. I can't. And finally, I hooked it out the window, driving like somewhere. It gave me the wicked heebie-jeebies. Do you feel like spirits attach themselves to items like the great Bob Zaffis would have us think?
I believe so.
They absolutely.
I mean, I think there's some way they're attached to it somehow.
Yeah.
Could be something they built by their hands themselves, or it could be something that they just use in an everyday aspect of their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Katie asks, any suggestions on what I should bring? Extra batteries? Always bring extra batteries.
Oh, yeah.
Always bring an extra quarter. Not that you want to use all of them, because we covered that. That sucks. You're doing all that shit.
They rented out the whole home. Have fun.
Yeah,
good luck.
Well, Katie, my favorite thing is a mini mag flashlight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys do the flashlight trick?
Oh,
Yep.
that's my favorite piece of equipment.
Yep.
Mike goes, we got all this expensive equipment, and you're sitting here playing with a flashlight.
Playing with the flashlight. Or like, I got into the cat ball recently because you can't manipulate it. Like with a phone or like with like I think they're wonderful. And like you can spend $5 and get like a dozen of them. A recorder, Katie.
Definitely a recorder.
Really good recorder.
I mean, we have everything. Even if you bring like an EMF detector, it depends on what you have, Katie, for equipment. Yeah. I mean, bring what you want. Bring what you have.
Everything.
Bring everything. Like I said, we bring all our stuff, and we end up using 10% of it.
Right. So, and really quick heads up, Katie. If you're looking to buy, like, say, a K2, which is your basic, ghost hunting tool, you can find them like dirt cheap at Walmart.com for $20 rather than going on like one of these ghosty sites and spending like $69, $70 for the same thing.
Sometimes you get a 2-pack on Amazon for like $20 too.
Yeah. Right? Shop around, guys. Yeah. You don't have to buy everything from these shows aren't necessarily like the end all be all of equipment either. So.
And I'll have to be honest too, some of the stuff from Amazon's a lot better condition than some of the stuff from some of these websites. Just throwing that out there.
Sure. Just trying
to pay all this money from certain websites.
Damien's question.
Damien, yeah, from across the pond, Damien asks, "Good morning, gentlemen. Good show, buddy." Of course, Damien. My question is to Mike and Adam: when you were at Sweet Springs and caught in snowstorm, did you find activity increased or decreased in cold temperatures, or did it hinder your senses with cold distractions? Awesome question, Damien. Go ahead, guys.
So I think it didn't hinder any of that. Like I think it was still how do I put this?
It was freaking cold. It was put it this way. But, when we started at 8 p.m., it was 20 degrees outside.
Oh yeah, on a mountain.
And
we
made it to
our senses were still.
No, I mean the building was still off everything was on point.
Our senses were still on point. It didn't hinder me feeling someone like a cold breeze go behind me. Because that happened, and we were like, "Go."
The only one thing I have to say with Damien, though, and the cold temperatures is watch your equipment, because some of our equipment goes by temperatures.
Yeah,
true.
And by 2 a.m., it was literally 6 degrees inside the building. It was freaking freezing. We couldn't go any farther. We had the building until 10 a.m. We made it till 2. It was so damn cold. Almost 3, but it was so damn cold. And the only area that had heat, and it was portable heaters, was the safe room. The rest of the building had no electricity, no heat, or anything like that.
That floor had electricity.
Well, yeah.
On the other side, I mean, it's cold, and it's gonna suck to be in the cold. I hate the winter. I'm a summer kid, but if I'm investigating, and especially if I'm like near outdoors, or outdoors could potentially like cause audio issues, I'd rather do it in the cold like that, when I know all the animals are sleeping. And there's not going to be any birds, or there's not going to be that many cars driving around, because it's fucking cold out. No one wants to be outside in that weather that time of night. For environmental reasons, I think it would be more of a blessing.
Yeah,
no, it was great.
I mean,
there wasn't many animals.
No, I mean that's the thing. I mean, that place was just off the wall. I think in general, even without the temperature difference or the snow outside. Yeah. I mean, maybe it amped it up a little more than what.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most.
But there's things in that place where I said, at one point, me and Dom were back to back, like, what the hell? Holy shit. Like, when we were sitting in our chairs, there's one thing's going on one end. The next thing you know, there's something going on the other end. And we just, like, kept getting pushed back. And next thing you know, we're back to back with each other.
I'll never forget the moment me and Dom looked at each other and goes, we got to go get the caretaker.
Yeah, I told him a story about the chairs and the table flipped over and all that stuff.
That's like next level. Heavy, like shit out of movies that you hear about, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And all we kept saying the rest of the night was, how the hell did that happen? How did that happen? I don't get it to this day.
Recently, rest in peace.
Oh, yeah, the caretaker passed away recently. Yeah. He did pass away.
Someone told us that.
Year,
so.
Yeah.
I've had a client report that to me that happened. And she was very stable, so I kind of believe her story. But me personally, I've never seen that like level of activity. That's
I wish I saw it. Like, I wish I saw this in person, but the noise that it made, I can still picture, like, in the back of my head. Yeah. It was crash, bang, boom. And we all just looked at each other like, what the hell was that? And that's when we looked out in the hallway, and all the doors were just wide open. And we're like, wait, how does that freaking happen when the guy just walked back here, closed everything after he gave us a tour, and took off? And
one more question. One more question from the audience, and we're going to go back to the channel really quick, guys. So, Damien, again, from across the pond, you guys believe in ghost cars like Christine or ghost vehicles in Mary Celeste?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in ghost trains. Ghost trains before. I've heard stories about that, and
residual. I think residual energy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, excuse me, sorry. I mean, I definitely, as a car guy, I definitely think that there is that residual energy from past owners if they have passed. One of my friends has a 68 Camaro. He's a second owner of it, and he swears to this day that still the radio turns on to the guy's favorite radio station or something.
Nice.
Even
a car like that, man, like it's some kind of like personification of or I don't know, like the personality of the car comes through spiritually, like an elemental almost.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I said, I was like, it does 68 Camaro. There ain't no fucking electronics in that. So when the radio turns on,
right? Yeah, it's it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna whip this back out. Let's see. All right, here we go. Okay, so could you guys recommend one that's up in front of us?
Let's see. What's a good one? Well, that one right there with the stick figure, that's second row, third one in.
Okay. Yep.
I believe that was
the Conjuring House.
Yep, that was the Conjuring House.
Oh, that's when it went.
That was when our buddy was sitting on the table down in the basement, and it wrapped itself around his neck like he was being hung.
Oh Jesus!
If you play that again, he was sitting on a little desk down in the basement.
Yeah, I see him sitting down there. We can see that.
And then watch what it does. And supposedly someone hung themselves down in the basement.
Oh, awesome!
That was one of the stories.
Classic. Here we go.
Watch what it does.
Holy shit!
Look at how it wraps around his neck like that
and pulls back.
Like it's a noose. And that was on our XLS camera.
Wow.
And there's the tall, slender man that's supposedly supposed to be seen down there. At one point, he was very tall.
Wow.
And then it just literally wraps around his neck and then pulls.
Wow. Jesus.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was,
wow. That's incredible, guys. So it's just you guys were you were in the basement of that house?
That was the basement of the Conjuring House, yes. Yep. We just went down there, and a good friend of ours at the time was with us. And there's a little desk that was down there in the hallway. And he just sat there. We were trying to get, because the story of the thing is that tall, slender man who's down in the basement. The crooked neck or something like that. I forgot what it's called.
Of course, there's a
And
name, but...
when he was sitting there on the desk, if you look in the first part of that video, there's a tall stick figure that appears next to him. And then all of a sudden it vanishes and goes and shoots up to him and wraps around his neck and looks like it's pulling a noose. And then it vanishes. And the story is somebody supposedly hung themselves down there. So when that happened, when it literally wrapped around his neck and then pulled like that, I was like, holy shit, that's crazy.
That's pretty good. No, that's a good one, dude. I mean, it's like you can't say 100% it's a ghost, but I mean, like what else would that have been in the moment?
And to go from a stick figure to his neck to wrap around his neck and to look like it's pulling and to vanish.
Yeah.
Like if there was something there, it would have mapped everything out.
You would think.
From it, that was creepy.
That was definitely creepy. All right, guys. Let's see what else we got here. Let me back this up. All right, what we got?
The I Am is pretty good.
All right.
That one was at Old Hospital, I think. Yeah, Old Hospital in College Hill.
Oh.
And it continues.
Let me play that again. Oh boy, where's that at, guys?
That was an Old Hospital in College Hill down in West Virginia. Yep.
Oh man, I was at I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's a wonderful place. Definitely check it out if you have the chance. Up in Quincy, Massachusetts. It's called the USS Salem.
We've been there.
Yeah. Don is a great guy. I was in the back. I was in the very back, where where the chief would have been, and the chief's the chief's room, I guess you could say. And there were four of us, and three of the other guys were like in the corner over there. They're like, "Oh, he's hiding out in this corner. He's hiding out in this corner." I'm sitting on one of these like little metal stools with my recorder in my lap, and I have these like plugged into my recorder so I can hear a little bit, a little bit extra. And I didn't hear it in the moment, but I asked, I'm like, "Spirit, are you Chief? Are you hiding in that corner? Where are you, Chief?" "Right here." "Right?" Oh no, it was like right next to you. It was like, oh my God.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's where Adam saw his first apparition.
Full body apparition.
Yeah, he saw his
really
first
on the
full body
Salem.
apparition there. Yeah.
Great tip, dude.
We were there 2 days.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
First day we were there. Went to go use the bathroom. And I'm walking back, and
little Annabelle's here.
I was walking by the hospital room where all the beds are.
Yep.
I guess they call it the recovery room thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And
the hospital, yeah.
And I'm like, all I hear is, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey," and I keep walking. I'm like, wait, hold on. Who the fuck just said, "Hey, there ain't no one here"? Like, it's still set up for all the vendors.
Yep.
So I walk back and I look, and because I'm thinking, oh, maybe someone that works there is, set, making sure everything's clean and nice, so when people walk by, they can see it. I walked back, there was no one there.
Boy.
And I'm like, oh boy. All right, whatever. So, anyways, day goes out. When it was dying down, I went downstairs in the bunks to investigate, because who gives someone a haunted ship that's in the paranormal who doesn't sneak around and investigate?
Of course, I did the whole time we were there. So.
We were there. We were allowed to go around, but like people are walking through the vendor fair, and here I am going
down in the bunks.
So, anyways, then we go out to eat with some good friends. We went to a place, and I tend to eat spicy food, which I shouldn't. Go back to the hotel. Wake up in the morning. Go to ship. It's a great day. Looked at Mike. I was like, I gotta go use the restroom before people get here. Okay, so I go to use the restroom. Walking past, same place.
Yep.
Okay. Nothing.
Yeah.
Right after that, there's a hallway that goes to the operation room.
Yep, I know what you mean. Yep.
And there's medicine rooms on each
Yep.
side.
Yep.
Okay. I just happened to look. I saw a nurse in full white gown walk through a closed door, through a half closed door, and vanish. And I said,
Wow.
what the fuck was that? Like, I literally went, I looked, I thought, like, I was like, there's no way someone's like messing around. Like, I was like, I literally did circles. Okay. I literally went down the hallway, through a hallway, walked back down the hallway, looked in where the beds were, the hospital beds. I'm like, no one was there. And I walked back and I'm looking, I'm like, that's the fucking medicine room.
Yeah. And there was nobody in there, was there?
And there was no one there because I even opened the door. Because I was like, all right, the door's open. Let me just peek, make sure no one's fucking. And I went back and I told Mike, I was like, dude.
Yeah, that was crazy.
We felt a voice. We felt a voice on the top deck at like Christ. It must have been like 11 o'clock at night. Hello, hello. Is someone? It's like looking. I swear it was Don. I swear it was someone. We walked around the whole top deck. Kept hearing this guy say hello, and there was nobody up there. I had a ton of EVPs from that ship, like going halfway down that hallway, getting creeped out. Like, hey, somebody want to come and help me set up this camera because I need help. Like, I'm terrified. Dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Or going the best was we went down like 3 decks, and there's like the command center where you pull down these glass boards. And you're like in a Star Wars movie, like you're in the battleship movie about to attack, like and it's like dead silence because you're in the middle of that ship. That was awesome. That's a really super cool location. Check it out, anybody who's in the oh my god. And it's a living museum. It's living history. And Don's a great guy, so check that out.
It's amazing when you step on that boat and you can feel the history.
It's a whole different world. It's a whole different world. The stairs really suck, but other than that, holy shit! I couldn't imagine running like full board down those stairs like battle. Oh fuck that, dude! I would bang my head. I trip over every time you go through like the next section. There's that thing you get to set. I would kill myself. Yeah. That would not be pretty. I would not work. I'm glad I didn't. I wouldn't. They tell me now there's waivers in the Army, but I'm glad I never made it in. I would have killed myself before I even like got behind the gun.
They barely even touch those steps when they go down those steps.
Yeah,
they grab onto those railings or those chains and they're down those things so quick.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I sort of like slamming my face into that metal floor just stopped me from face,
Yeah, I when I graduated technical college, I was like, I want to go into the Army.
Mm-hmm.
And like all my friends were going, and I'm like, well, I'll just go be a body man in the Army because, believe it or not, there's auto body technicians in the Army. Mm-hmm. And I got told I couldn't go.
Hey, Virgil.
And now after hearing like friends and everything's stories and looking at shit and seeing stuff through my life, I was like, yeah, I'm glad I got told not to go.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I wouldn't be here on the show living.
Right. Yeah, probably not. I mean, there's been a whole lot of war since since I was younger. I had a friend that went away, so I mean, he did make it back. But not a ton of people did. There was a ton of people who didn't. So I mean, who needs that? But guys, I gotta start to wrap up. I like to sign off before 10 so the next guy coming on has some time to stretch out his legs. I'm on the Get Haunted thing right now. I have the slot, so I want to be off in time for I think it's Greg. I also have to get up at 5 a.m. for work.
Yeah, same here. But, I have to get up at 4.
Oh goddamn! And I'm working all day. I'm working a double, so right up to 11 o'clock at night.
Good times.
Yeah, fun mental health case management. So it's like I'm sitting in an office, but
little Annabelle, you're cool, okay? Little Annabelle.
Before I sign off, little Annabelle, good for you in the name, but I hate dolls. I think they're creepy. They're awful.
Same here.
Whether they're haunted or not, like why the fuck? Even if why would you buy a haunted doll Really quick before we wrap up, gentlemen, thoughts?
I totally can't me. I would never. I hate them. Spiders and dolls. Those are my
Adam,
two
haunted doll.
things.
Would you ever buy one, dude? Oh God.
Think about it. You have a child.
I have a child, so no.
Yeah. No. I mean, people okay, but oh my God, I hate dolls.
So
good for you.
so does my wife, and I have some of my grandmother's old porcelain dolls. And
Yeah.
they-
Even worse. Those are the
Oh my
worst
God.
ones. Like the American, like American Beauty or what my aunt used to have.
Yeah.
Those are horrifying, dude.
it literally, like, I think it was just that, like, the way the box was sitting on the shelf.
Yep.
That the head was different the next time we came down in this room.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah.
But
It's creepy just to look at.
yeah.
Why would you want to? I knew a kid that once he's like, "Hey, buddy, I bought a haunted doll." Why? He's like, "Because I want to experience that kind of level of paranormal activity in my life." Why?
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 weeks later, he's like, "Buddy, so you know that haunted doll I got? Yeah. So it's haunted. Oh, is it? Yeah, you having some cool experience?" He's like, "No, it's really scary. Can you direct me to somebody?" So I connected him with a local demonologist, and I think he wiped it up for him. But like, oh my, why would you bring that shit into your life? God bless you, Annabelle. No, nothing personal to anybody who loves the dolls, the haunted dolls. Buddy is just not a haunted doll kind of guy.
I'm right there with you. I'm on that
Holy
one.
shit!
And
no
what is
thank
it with everyone having a haunted dolls room now? The hell.
People are like, "Oh, buddy, let me bring my doll on the show." Hey, let's just not and say we didn't anyway, because
Yeah.
I'm all set. You can keep your doll in your doll room and play with your dollhouse.
It's bad enough we
Or
have
maybe-
the one right behind Adam in the corner of the room.
Oh
Staring
God,
at
I
the
can
Santa
see
Claus.
that.
You see the Santa
Santa
Claus?
That's all right. So that's moderately okay, doll, because
No, but
He's
that's
just chilling though.
like, if you,
yeah.
let me show you
Don't-
him real
Oh,
quick.
yeah, no,
Little
he
Annabelle,
doesn't say-
I
no.
don't mean to hurt your feelings. Nothing personal. Buddy doesn't like dolls. Convince me otherwise. Give me a doll that doesn't suck.
So this is
I don't
one
know.
of my grandmother's old
Oh,
Santa Clauses.
yeah, dude.
So it's like literally porcelain
ho.
face.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
classic
Like-
doll.
It's creepy because he kind of just sits there.
Like
Yeah.
literally all our podcasts, he's just chilling in that corner. the
Sitting
whole
there like staring.
Yeah,
From the
and
corner.
and it's literally
Oh,
it's literally year round that he sits there. He doesn't get put in the totes because I don't want him to break. So he just sits on the shelf.
Satan Claus.
Satan Claus.
Satan Claus. Everybody loves Satan Claus. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I can't.
Little Annabelle, we've made a connection. Everybody loves Satan Claus.
little Annabelle's scared of that Santa.
Oh, well, that's
What do you
bad.
think of Krampus?
Yeah,
Yeah, little Annabelle.
That's what-
Krampus.
that's what Krampus looked like before he got mad.
Satan Claus. Okay, gentlemen, can
Yeah, no
we can
problem.
people, other than dolls and things that are creepy like that, where can people go and find you guys? It's the on your
All right.
your YouTube channel. Go ahead.
You can find us on YouTube for Two Brothers Extreme Paranormal. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on TikTok.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's literally just look for that logo that we have, and that's us. And make sure you put the two, not the TWO.
Yeah,
We're
Right.
literally the two Brothers Extreme Paranormal. Yeah.
yeah. The number, not the letters.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I tell people.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you'll see all our upcoming stuff we got coming up. Lots of private locations coming up that we're gonna take
Nice.
care of, and they are extremely
They are
cool.
extremely in caps lock cool. Extremely cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, little Annabelle. I think so as well, guys. It's been a wonderful show. Folks,
Yes.
tune in Thursday night as I and the other two dudes, three dudes, if you will. We jump on and we do the last call. We'll be talking everything and nothing, and of course, good craft, delicious, beautiful craft beer. And stay tuned for episode 9 from Craft and Hope, where we crack open the pre-recorded episode of Three Dudes Brews, and you can see who retains the top cock title. For Adam, for Mike Cronin, This is Buddy Day. It's been the Ghost and the Goat. Thanks for
One
tuning
more
in, guys.
thing we want to say too is
Okay,
again,
don't
so
get
sorry
started.
about your wife, Heather.
Yes.
Cheers to you, Heather.
Heather,
Yes.
yeah, cheers, man.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. 6 years today. You interrupted me, which is great because I forgot to tell everybody who's on next week, on next Tuesday night. Join us for June 3rd. The DOS House. The DOS House.
Yes.
Yeah, we were just there.
We were just there. Great
Awesome.
place. Great
Awesome.
place.
So tune in for some more haunted shit. Hopefully, no more haunted dolls except Little Annabelle. For Mike, for Adam, this is Buddy. This has been the Ghost and the Goat. Let's go Red Sox. Have a good
night,
week, guys.
Yeah, have a good one.
No offense, but screw the Mets, guys. Have a good week.
Thanks.
Hey, no,